Propagation or replanting sounds like some elite level gardening quest, right? Like you need a wizard robe, a degree in plant necromancy, and at least 3 backup orchids in case you mess up. But what if I told you it's actually one of the simplest things you can do as a plant owner? This single orchid looks like it got thrown into a bucket of water by some unnamed garden center employee. They clocked out for lunch, called it a day, and left this poor thing to deal with the consequences. Now it's sitting here looking like a crime scene. Yellow leaves, mushy roots, dehydration, overwatering, identity crisis, you name it. This plant has experienced every possible bad ending in the orchid multiverse, and somehow it's still here. And we are not letting that slide. Because orchids are dramatic, yes, but they are also absurdly resilient if you give them even a fighting chance. So with a few simple peelings, removing the dead leaves, trimming off the roots that have already signed their resignation letter, we're going to salvage whatever living tissue we can find. We're not saving everything. We're saving what matters. Healthy roots? Keep them. Firm stem? Protected. Anything mushy, hollow, or smelling like regret, it's gone. Because propagation and recovery isn't about pretending the damage didn't happen. It's about cutting back to what's still alive and letting the plant rebuild from there. And trust me, orchids have rebuilt from worse. You give them air, proper medium, controlled watering, and a little patience, and they will come back like they've got unfinished business. And after all that trimming, peeling, and root surgery, what are we left with? One single, green leaf and a flower spike. That's it. No lush crown, no jungle of roots, no Instagram-ready glow-up. Just one stubborn leaf and a spike that honestly has no business still existing. But here's the funny part. That is more than enough. Because orchids don't need to look impressive to survive. They just need one functioning leaf to photosynthesize, one stable point of growth and time. That green leaf, that's a solar panel. That flower spike, that's stored energy and living tissue we can work with. It might look like we barely saved anything, but biologically speaking, we saved the core. And orchids have rebuilt entire root systems from less. So no, this isn't the end result of a failed rescue. This is the starting line of a comeback arc. One leaf, one spike, and a plant that refuses to log out. Now before we do anything else, give it a proper wash. And I don't mean a gentle sprinkle like you're blessing it with holy water. I mean a reasonable, thorough rinse to clean everything. Because whatever this orchid went through, bacteria, fungus, old decaying tissue, mystery garden center sludge, it's all still hanging around. And we are not inviting that back in a round 2. So rinse the roots carefully. Wash off any remaining debris. Loosen old medium stuck between them. And make sure what's left is actually clean. Not aggressive, not violent. Just controlled and intentional. Think reset, not pressure washer simulator. Because once it's clean, you can clearly see what's healthy and what's not. And we're trying to rebuild a plant from basically one leaf and pure determination. Clarity matters. A cucumber. And before you start questioning my credentials, no, we are not making a smoothie, we are not making a salad. And this orchid is not going to a spa retreat. We are only interested in one specific part of this entire vegetable. The skin, that thin outer layer most people peel off and throw away. That's the part we care about. Because the peel contains trace minerals, small amounts of silica, and organic compounds that can gently support plant tissue during recovery. Not in some magical overnight transformation way, but in a subtle, supportive, low-risk kind of way. And that's exactly what we want. Remember, we're dealing with an orchid that is basically operating on emergency mode. One leaf, one spike, limited roots, zero tolerance for nonsense. So we are not dumping concentrated fertilizers on it. We are not experimenting with chemical cocktails. We are keeping this light and controlled. controlled. We take the cucumber, wash it thoroughly, remove the outer skin carefully, and set that aside. Not the watery center, not the seeds, just the peel, because the inside is mostly water and sugar, which can actually encourage bacterial growth if we're not careful. And the last thing this recovering plant needs is a microbial party in its root zone. So we keep it simple: clean peel, controlled preparation, measured use. No overcomplicating, no overthinking. Just smart, minimal intervention to support a plant that's already fighting to rebuild itself. Sometimes recovery isn't about adding more. It's about adding just enough. Now that we have our cucumber skin ready, it's time to turn this into something usable. Grab a container, add just a bit of water, not a full tank, not a flood simulation, just enough to help everything break down smoothly. We are not making soup, we're extracting, because the goal here isn't to drown the peel. It's to help release those trace minerals and organic compounds into the water. Once the water is in, we add the cucumber skin to the container. And now comes the slightly aggressive part. We blend it. Yes, we are taking this humble kitchen vegetable and sending it into mechanical chaos, because blending breaks the skin down completely, allowing more surface area, more release, more uniform distribution in the solution. And now, for the final ingredient in this recovery setup, we're adding in 3B1 vitamin tablets. Yes, human vitamins. And no, this is not because the orchid forgot to eat its breakfast. Vitamin B1, also known as thiamine, has long been associated with supporting plant stress recovery, especially after root damage, transplant shock, or heavy pruning. Now, let's be clear. Now, we are not marinating this like it's dinner prep. This is a controlled soak, gentle exposure, limited time. Lower the leaf and stem into the solution carefully. Make sure the surface is in contact, but don't submerge the entire plant like you're trying to baptize it. And here's the critical part: 5 to 10 minutes. That's it. Not 15, not 30, not I forgot and came back after a shower. Because prolonged exposure, especially with organic solutions, can absolutely slingshot your plant to the other side. Too much moisture, too long sitting in solution, and suddenly you've created the perfect environment for rot, bacteria, and regret. Remember, this orchid is already in recovery mode. And while the orchid is soaking, we are not standing around doing nothing. In the meantime, grab a handful of pine bark and soak it in plain, clean water. No additives, no secret sauce, just water. Because dry pine bark straight out of the bag can be dusty, can be dehydrated, and occasionally can contain tiny hitchhikers you absolutely did not invite. And I'm talking about fungal spores, stray insects, microscopic troublemakers just waiting for fresh roots to nibble on. You do not want to spend all this effort saving a plant, only to replant it into a battlefield. After a full day, the pine bark should finally be ready to use. Not 1 hour, not it feels wet enough, a full day. Because pine bark needs time to properly hydrate all the way through. On the outside, it might look soaked after a few minutes, but inside those chunks can still be bone dry. Now, before we even think about full replanting, we need to set up a greenhouse environment for this orchid leaf, because right now, it is still extremely delicate. One leaf, limited structure, recovering stem. This is not the time to expose it to dry air and mood swings and humidity. So what we're going to do is create a controlled microclimate. Think small-scale greenhouse, contained, stable, supportive. Take a moist tissue, not dripping, not swamp level, just evenly damp. Place it inside a sealed container or enclosed area, something that can trap humidity without turning into a suffocation chamber. And here's the important part, prope ventilation. Because sealed does not mean airtight coffin. We want humidity retention. but we also need air exchange to prevent mold, fungus, and unwanted microbial festivals. That moist tissue will maintain a gentle, humid environment around the leaf, reducing water loss while it focuses its energy on regeneration. High humidity means less stress on that single leaf, less dehydration, more opportunity for new growth to initiate. You're basically giving it ideal recovery conditions: stable moisture, stable air, controlled environment, and under the right balance. That leaf has the potential to activate dormant growth points and slowly push toward becoming a new plant. Not overnight, not instantly, but steadily, because recovery isn't dramatic explosions of growth. It's controlled, patient rebuilding in the right environment. Now, as for the stem, we're not putting that into the humidity chamber. That one is getting planted normally, into a pot with the pine bark we soaked, because unlike the leaf, the stem has structural stability. It can handle a proper medium, airflow around it, and a more traditional recovery setup. So grab a small pot. Nothing oversized, nothing dramatic. Too much space means too much moisture retention. And too much moisture is how we end up back at square one. Fill the base lightly with that fully hydrated pine bark. Remember, it's been soaking for a full day. It's clean, it's prepped, it's ready. Place the stem carefully in the center, position it upright and stable. Then gently fill around it with more bark, not packing it down like concrete, just firm enough to support it. Orchids need airflow around their roots and stem base. Suffocating it defeats the entire purpose. And once it's secure, we do not flood it immediately. Light moisture, controlled environment, patience. Because this stem is in rebuild mode, and what it needs now is stability, airflow, and time. 2 recovery strategies. 1 controlled greenhouse for the leaf, 1 proper pot setup for the stem. No rushing, no overwatering, no panic decisões. We're not forcing growth. We're creating conditions where growth can happen naturally. With just a bit of water, we keep the medium lightly moist. Not soaked, not dripping, not monsoon season in a plastic pot. Just enough to maintain humidity around the base. Because at this stage, excess water is not your friend. Too much moisture, and you invite rot back into the story. And we already defeated that villain once. Once the bark is lightly moist, we seal it up under a dome. This can be a humidity dome, a clear container, even a DIY plastic cover. Anything that can trap humidity while still allowing minimal air exchange. And just like before, this is not an airtight tomb. We need high humidity, but we also need airflow to prevent fungal growth. That dome creates yet another greenhouse effect, stabilizing temperature, stabilizing moisture, reducing stress on the recovering stem. After around 2 weeks, both the leaf and the stem should start developing. Not instantly, not overnight, but slowly, subtly, signs of life begin to show. And I was right. What looked like a lost cause, what looked like a botanical crime scene, is now showing growth. The leaf inside the humidity setup begins to firm up, small signs of new development appearing near the base. And the stem planted in bark, it starts pushing new growth points, tiny root nubs forming like it never planned on giving up in the first place. This is why patience matters, because for 2 weeks, nothing dramatic happened. No fireworks, no cinematic chimilapse explosion. Just stability, moisture control, and silence. And then suddenly, progress. That's how orchids work. They don't panic grow. They calculate. They stabilize first, then they expand. And seeing development after everything this plant went through, that's not luck. That's controlled recovery, proper environment, and respecting plant biology instead of fighting it. From one leaf and a stem to visible regeneration. Not a miracle, just smart intervention in time. Now I hope you still have that remaining cucumber solution, because we're not done with it yet, since both the leaf and the stem are now developing. And yes, that stem is officially a plant again. We're going to use that solution for light misting and watering. But emphasis on light. We are not drenching them. We are not turning this into green juice irrigation season. Just a gentle mist over the leaf setup, enough to maintain humidity and provide a subtle nutrient presence. And for the potted stem, a controlled, small amount at the base, because now that roots are forming, they can actually begin absorbing diluted nutrients properly. But remember, this solution is supportive, not primary fertilizer. It's a gentle boost, not a growth steroid. Overuse it, and you risk build-up bacterial growth and undoing all the patience you just invested. So mist lightly, water sparingly, observe closely. At this stage, the plant is transitioning from survival mode into growth mode. And what it needs now isn't intensity, it's consistency. After around 6 weeks, everything is finally ready. Not rushed, not forced, earned. The leaf that started as a fragile survivor inside a humidity box is now stable, developed, and strong enough to move. And that stem? It's not just a stem anymore. It's a full plant with structure, roots, direction. This is the moment where recovery officially becomes establishment. The orchid leaf can now move to its new home. And that home looks very familiar. Same pot style, same pine bark setup, same airflow, same environment as the healthy orchid sitting right next to it. Because consistency is the goal. We are not shocking it with a brand new experimental setup. We are integrating it into a proven system. You know the drill. Pre-soaked bark, proper drainage, gentle placement, firm but not compacted support. Light watering, stable humidity, good airflow. No dramatic changes. No sudden fertilizer overdose. No, let's see what happens if experiments. At this point, this orchid isn't a rescue anymore. It's just another plant in your collection. From one damaged leaf and a struggling stem, to 2 established orchids ready to grow normally. Not magic, not luck, just patience, controlled care, and understanding how orchids actually operate. And that's how you turn a near loss into a full comeback story. Now, before you walk away and admire your work, keep this in mind. How you plant it matters, because this orchid is still young, still stabilizing, still building its root system. So when you place it into the pot, positioning is everything. The base of the plant should sit slightly above the medium, not buried like a carrot. Orchid crowns hate being suffocated, and trapped moisture around the base is how rot starts its villain arc. Make sure the roots are naturally spread within the bark, not folded aggressively or forced downward. Then comes the support stake. Yes, it needs one, because until the root system fully anchors itself, that plant is basically balancing on hope. Insert a stake gently along the side of the pot, avoiding root damage. Then loosely secure the plant to the stake, not strangled, not zip-tied into submission, just supported. Think stability, not restraint. This prevents wobbling, and wobbling damages new roots trying to attach to the bark. Good positioning, proper airflow, light but stable moisture, and structural support. These small details are what separate it survive from it thrives. Because recovery doesn't end at planting, it transitions into proper establishment. And when you get that right, you don't just save an orchid, you build one that lasts. And there you have it. From a near-dead orchid with one lonely leaf and a questionable stem, to two stable, growing plants ready to thrive. No magic spells, no overpriced miracle bottles, just controlled care, patience, and understanding what the plant actually needs. Propagation doesn't have to be intimidating. Recovery doesn't have to feel like a gamble. When you break it down step by step, it's just biology, environment, and consistency working together. So if you enjoy turning plant disasters into comeback stories, or you just like watching stubborn orchids refuse to quit, you already know where to be. Stick around. There's always another plant experiment, another rescue mission, another this probably shouldn't work, but let's try it moment waiting. And who knows? The next comeback story might be even crazier than this one. I'll see you in the next one.